Hello, my name is Gabe Evans, and welcome to Jazz Moments. What makes jazz harmony unique is arguably most influenced by the way jazz musicians have treated dominant chords. Now, oftentimes, when you're looking at a lead sheet, you'll just encounter a chord symbol that just says, say, C7 or something like that. I've had many students ask me, when you come across a chord symbol like that, how do you know which extensions to use? And of course, if we look at all the possible extensions that we could choose from, we could choose basically anything with the exception of the major seventh, and the fourth is quite uncommon. But everything else goes. So, looking at a C7, possible extensions could be, so here's my root. We could have the flat 9, we could have the natural 9, we could have the sharp 9. Here's our third, which is our fundamental tone. We could have the sharp 11. We could have the fifth. We could have the flat 13th, or this is called the sharp fifth in some cases, the natural 13th, and here we are at our seventh. And basically the only two notes I haven't played are my fourth and my major seventh. It's difficult to come up with a simple way to address every situation, but I'd like to try the best I can to give an answer to this question that I've encountered so many times. When we come across a dominant chord that is functioning as 5 of a major or minor 1, we always have the choice of using altered extensions. And when I say altered extensions, I mean a flat 9, sharp 9, sharp 11, or flat 13. For example, if I encounter C7 and it's functioning as, and the next chord is F major 7, I could choose a flat 9 and a flat 13. Here's my 7th and 3rd. I could also choose a sharp 9 and a flat 13. I could also choose a sharp 11 and sharp 9, or I could choose a flat 9 and sharp 11. Of course, it's not limited to this inversion. I could also be here. Here's my sharp 9, flat 13. Now, when we are moving to a major 1, we also have the choice of using a combination of some altered and some non-altered, or even totally non-altered. So here is, for example, a C13. Here's my 9th, and here's my 13, and I could do. And that sounds nice. That works okay. It doesn't create as much tension without those altered tones, because those altered tones are basically functioning as leading tones, chromatic tones, to lead to the next chord. For example, here's my C7, flat 13, flat 9. That works really nicely. When we are going to a minor 1, it is much more prevalent to use those altered tones. So if I go to F minor, using my flat 9 and my flat 13, or for example, my sharp 9, or here's my sharp 11 and my sharp 9. And you can just see my 3rd, of course, is dropping to my 7th. My sharp 11 is going to move up to the 9th of the F. And my sharp 9 here, I'm going to bring it all the way down to the 5th, so I get this sound. In a case like this, you can even do things like this. Here's my sharp 9, and I'm going to move them both down. Sharp 11, flat 9. So you don't necessarily have to even stick with the same extensions throughout the duration of the chord. Now, when your dominant chord is not functioning as a 5 of 1, as a general rule, you're going to use the accidentals which most agree with your home key. If we are in the key of C major, and I'm just going to go up chromatically one by one. If we're in the key of C major, and I have a D flat 7, not functioning as the 5 of anything, but rather just as a different modality, I'm going to be choosing a D flat altered chord because these are the extensions that are staying most within the scale. Now, if it is resolving from D flat to C major, then I may choose to use the natural extensions, so my 5th and my 9th, because this is essentially a tritone of the 5 anyway, and it makes for good voice leading. But if it's not resolving, I'm going to be using my altered voicings. D7, here's my natural 9 and my 13, so as the 2, I'm going to be using notes that are closer to, I'm not going to be using my flat, I'm not going to be using my altered, but rather my 9th and 13th. E flat, so my flat third of the key. Generally, I'm going to be using my 13 and my 9. So non-altered, the third of the key, or E, altered. You see what's going on here? I'm choosing extensions based on what are most agreeable to the key of C major. This is not hard and fast, of course. Just a general rule. F7, nice Mixolydian sharp 11 sound. So 9, 13. So the tritone of the key, we're actually going to typically break the rules a little bit. This one could be really anything. This could be, if we're moving to F, we're probably going to see the non-altered tones, which is not agreeing with the key of C major. Frequently, it will be moving to the 4th of the key. But if it's just standing on its own, we just don't encounter this one that frequently. Standing on its own, we would be using our altered chords. Flat 9, flat 13. And G, of course, again, is very frequently the 5 of the key, so we're going to be spending a lot of time with our altered extensions. Flat 6 of the key, non-altered extensions, the 9th and the 13th. By the way, all of these, none of these use a perfect 4th. So you can always add the sharp 11th with any of these chords. So for example, that would be a nice voicing. 13, sharp 11, 9. The 6th, the dominant 6 of the key, altered because I'm using notes that belong to C major here. The 7th, the flat 7th. Again, a Mixolydian sharp 11 sound, so non-altered. And finally, if we're going to the 7th of the key, we're going to be using our altered chord extensions belonging to the key of C major. I went pretty fast there. I want to summarize. If it is the 5 of 1, if it's 5 of a major 1, you can use either altered or non-altered extensions. If it is 5 of a minor 1, you are most likely going to be using altered extensions most of the time. If it's not functioning as 5, but rather visiting another modality, you're going to be picking extensions based on what is most closely related to the chord scale of your home key. And of course, keys are very frequently shifting, so it's of the key, the home key of the moment. that you're concerned about. I hope you find this helpful. If you're a little bit confused, try watching it again and maybe hitting pause a few times. That was a lot of theoretical information right there, but I hope this clears up that question to a degree. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.